Nuovo ciclo organizzato dall'IRSE di Pordenone presso il Centro Culturale Zanussi dal titolo Volti e luoghi della crisi. 4 incontri alla scoperta di narratori europei curati dalla docente di lettere classiche Stefania Savocco.
A volte davanti alla TV sentiamo parlare dei problemi dell'economia e non riusciamo a renderci conto realmente di che cosa si tratti, ma quando la letteratura fa da mediatrice allora diventa tutto più semplice e i problemi si incarnano in personaggi, quindi in realtà più vicini a noi. L'idea è stata quella di partire con la trilogia della crisi di Petros Markaris e quindi di vedere quella che è la realtà greca, che però serve da cartina di tornasole per quella italiana, poi passare a Cielo Nero di Idranson, quindi alla situazione dell'Islanda, una realtà che ha vissuto un boom economico incredibile tra il 2003 e il 2007 e poi un altrettanto incredibile crack che ci ricorda drammaticamente quello che sta avvenendo con le nostre banche, e poi vedere due modi di interpretare la crisi differenti da parte degli italiani. Walter Siti, premio Strega nel 2013 con Resistere non serve a niente, il volto cinico del mondo della finanza, un broker, Tommaso, che è bulimico e rappresenta con questa sua bulimia anche la fame e la cupidigia del mondo della finanza. E poi la chiusura con Nicola Lecca, che sarà anche ospite dell'IRSE, che è una ventata invece di ottimismo. Imi va a lavorare a Londra, pieno di sogni, si scontra con una realtà molto dura, quella delle catene di caffetterie con un volto molto pieno di regole, scettico, e invece poi riesce a trovare una sua dimensione etica e a ritornare a casa trasformando la disillusione in speranza. Quindi volevamo iniziare con un quadro che forse sarà quello drammatico che ci riporta alla realtà, però portare pure un messaggio di ottimismo ai giovani.
Ascoltiamo lo scrittore greco Markaris, intervenuto in diretta telefonica da Atene durante il primo incontro.
According to you, which is the duty of the adults in this very moment of crisis, and which one is due to the young?
One of the problems that arose or we realized with the crisis is the way we brought up the young people. The young people grew up with the belief that Mother Europe could solve all their problems. Now that we realize that Mother Europe cannot solve any problem, these young people are lost. This is partly also the wrong way adults raise their children. They fulfilled every wish very easily. They made every effort to make their lives easier. So today these young people are not prepared to face the difficult times. This is the same in Greece, this I see in Spain, this I see in southern Italy, and they are panicking. To give you an example from my generation, the conditions were such that we learned to fight for every step. So the young people need time to learn how to fight. And there are 3 basic conditions for this. To read, to think, and to discuss the reality.
Is the crisis just an economic one, or is it also linguistic decay and the loss of meanings?
The redefinition of words in times of crisis are very important. To me, the most wrong part of this crisis is to define the crisis only or exclusively as an economic one. This is not only a crisis of economy, it's also a crisis of values and a crisis of culture. We are trying to solve or to face the crisis only on economic terms. And we neglect or just put aside the cultural diversities. But there is a fundamental Southern Europeans, which is mainly a Mediterranean culture. Culture is a dynamic process producing ways of thinking, ways of reacting, traditions, and ways of acting. The result of this is that we are facing a big problem of understanding each other. And this is not an economic problem, it's a cultural problem. It is an intellectual problem. So understanding the meaning of the words or redefining the meaning of the words, such as mission. What is a mission? And the mission is not only to achieve economic growth. The mission is also, to understand the people with whom you are having or you are living in a family. What I see is the only sentiment that is really spreading out in Europe is the sentiment of hate. If we don't redefine these, words or what we mean with mission and sentiments, the problem is that even if we overcome the crisis, the fundamental sentiments will stay, and this is very dangerous for the future.
There is a difference between being poor and accepting to be poor, or better, to be less consumist, beginning therefore to change our lifestyles. Is this the way you suggest to face the crisis?
Yes, definitely. We have to find out ways of survival, which is not only an economic survival, but it is also a survival of values, it is also a survival on cultural terms. Crying about our rich past, which in Greece was a virtual richness, is not the solution. The solution is to redefine our point of view on life. Unless we redefine our point of view towards the way of life, we have a chance to come out of the crisis even stronger. If we don't do that, I'm very much afraid that we will come out of the crisis devastated.
Well, we will have European elections next May. What kind of Europe we really want? You said what kind of way of life we really want, what kind of welfare we really want.
This is a question that really makes me very upset. The next European elections will be a very negative experience for the real Europeans. What we will see is that the extremes in Europe, the extreme right particularly, will be the main force which will cause us big problems. This will be the price we will have to pay because we degraded Europe to economy. I remind you what Jean Monnet said before he died. Jean Monnet said, I made a mistake. If I had to restart the European community, I would start from politics and culture, not from the markets. As long as we cannot find a new vision for Europe, we will be fighting with monsters. This monster will be the economy, or the monster will be the extreme right politically.